Howdy! Welcome to, I guess sort of welcome to my second rendition of how to pack like a flight attendant. Today I decided I would make a video about how to make a lunch box for a week of healthy eating. I'm the kind of person who does not like to eat out, and honestly, we don't get paid enough to eat out. So I carry all of my food with me, and I try to carry enough to last a week. Sometimes it becomes an issue whenever I'm going somewhere like Mexico or Canada because they don't allow you to take fresh fruits and veggies. But overall, I haven't had any trouble, and I hope that this video encourages you because anyone can eat healthy. Anyone can do it on a pretty tight budget, and it's an investment. So invest in your body well, and it will work for you as we get older. The first thing that I put in my box is a water bottle. So if you aren't a crew, or if you can't get through the TSA with large amounts of liquid, I recommend just taking an empty bottle. I heard Mexico might not allow empty water bottles, but I would take an empty one if you're traveling in the U.S. and then ask someone to fill it for you once you get behind the TSA. But water is so critically important. So bring a water bottle, and I put that on the side of my bag. And by the way, I use an e-bag. I love it. It's insulated, so if you wanted to put things like those little refrigerator cooler things in, you could easily do that. I don't, but because I want all the space. Then let's move on. The next thing I pack is one of these protein shaker bottles, and you can get them in the grocery store or online. It has a little shaker so you can put your protein powder and then mix it up. Some people do water. I like to use juice. And on the plane we have an abundance of juice and milk. If you want to use water, you can. I don't like it that boring. And then I scoop about 5 days worth of protein powder, and in order to conserve space, I just kind of get the air out of it, and I wrap it up, and my scooper is in there. It's a 1/3 cup scoop for this powder, so I put the scooper in with the powder, and then I just pack it. Yeah. And then I put the lid on, and I let it sit in my second cup holder, which is on the outside of my bag. And it can zip up, so if you don't want to use it, you can zip it. So now, let's put everything in the bag. I just spent forever organizing it all so that I can make this video flow pretty smoothly. One moment. Okay, so one of the most important, if I can find it, here it is. One of the most important pieces that I like to carry with me is a glass container. It's a glass Tupperware. I got it from Walmart or Target, and it's a Ziploc. The reason why I do glass, even though it's heavier, is because it's microwave safe. So you can stick it in the microwave and have hot food and cold food and not worry about carcinogens leaching into your food if you're eating plastic. And then the lid is great because if you just ate something messy, you can either put the lid on it if you don't have time to clean it, or you can use the lid as a plate for a sandwich or something. So it's nice to have something like that. Or if you don't want to finish something, or if you have like to-go food, you can always put it in this container. It's not big, but you have to clean it every time that you use it. What I recommend if you're on the plane or something is just get a bottle of water and a paper towel and kind of wipe it out, because you don't have to have soap on you. I know that's a little bit gross, but if you've spent any time backpacking, you know it's not going to hurt you. It's just nice to have like a clean surface. So I just get like a paper towel and kind of wipe it out. But honestly, whenever I'm like in the plane all day, I don't worry about being like super sanitary with that. I'll use it a few times, so don't wig out on me. Next thing I pack are carrots. I'm the kind of person who will eat a whole bag of carrots in one sitting. And one thing I love about carrots is they're low calorie, but they'll fill me up, and they're fun to eat like on a deadhead whenever you have 2 or 3 hours just to sit. Or if you're in a layover, you know, you can eat it at night instead of popcorn, or I don't know. It's just nice to have like some munchies, and I'll put that in the bowl. Next, let's do. I think for packing purposes. Okay. Next, we're going to do the hummus. I always bring some hummus with me, and it's primarily because I just like it. But if you are a calorie counter like I am, hummus is nice because it's filling. It has a little bit of protein, and it has carbs. It has fat in it, and it has like 60 calories for 2 tablespoons. So it's nice just for variety. I can dip my carrots in it. I can put it on tortillas. I can mix it with something else. As you'll see some things that we can mix it with. So I try and almost layer pack my food where I could do a bunch of things with them. So hummus is good. And I'm going to put that on top of the carrots. Alright. Next, I pack 2 bags of broccoli slaw. I am huge on vegetables. I'm a flexitarian, and some people are going to laugh at me because I know it's kind of ridiculous to say that you're a flexitarian. But basically, I don't eat meat unless I have to, and I try very hard not to. I just don't think it's the best way to go. So, but you can get a lot of protein from vegetables and beans and cheese and soy and stuff like that. So, anyway, broccoli slaw, very filling, and I'm going to put that in my bag. Okay. Yep. Next, we have this bag of little bags. So what I've done, I'll show you one of them, is I have diced about 5 or 6 tomatoes, and I've put about a cup of tomato in the bag, and I seasoned them with, and this time, I always do something different, but this time I think I did a bunch of cumin, what else? I'm looking at my spices. I did basil, and I did chili powder. So it's going to be kind of more like a salsa. And I mix that. I put it in a Ziploc because Ziplocs are much easier to pack with. And then I roll pack the Ziploc. And then I put it in a big Ziploc just in case so that it lessens the chance that there will be a leak or something nasty. I'd rather it be contained in a leak contained in one bag. And then I have like 5 or 6 of these in this bag. So that's something that they might take away if you go into Mexico, but tomatoes are fairly cheap, so it wouldn't be the end of the world. It would just be the end of deliciousness. Next, I'm going to put in my feta cheese. Now, this may look like a lot of feta, but here's what I do with it. I'll put like 1/4 of a cup of it in with the tomatoes in my special little glass bowl. And then I'll also put like 1/4 of a cup or even 1/2 of a cup in the broccoli slaw. And that way it just tastes better and it makes it more exciting. So feta gets to go in next. After my feta, I'm going to put in my avocados. That's right, avocado yum. So I have 2 whole and 1/2. And what I like, in fact, I'm going to save the half for today. But I'm going to put these 2 whole avocados in, and you can find like a plastic knife to cut it with once you get through security. That's what I typically do, and that way I'll just eat like 1/2 or even 1/4 at a time, and it gives me a pretty good variety of food, and you know, avocados are so filling, so I like to eat them. Next, we are going, now this one's the tough one. Well, we'll do 2. So first I'm going to put my salad dressing. I just put it in a little Tupperware and then I put it in a baggie so that if it leaks, the leak stays in the baggie. So that's in. What else do we have? Okay, and then I'm going to put this ginormous bag of grapes in. That's primarily like my dessert. I love fruit, and so I'm going to try and fit this whole bag of grapes. Okay, so you might be thinking to yourself, oh, and lastly, there's one more thing that goes in this part, tortillas! Yay! And I love, I don't know if you're a tortilla snob, but I love these. They're called soft wraps from Delicious Smart, and they are 100 calories, 9 grams of protein, 3 grams of fat, 20 carbs, and 12 grams of fiber, 1 gram of sugar. So they're a pretty good choice, and they're made of whole wheat, whole ground wheat. So I like that. They aren't made of that enriched stuff for the processed. And I'll just lay those on the top. And the cool thing about bringing a tortilla is I can literally put almost anything that I've packed in a tortilla if I wanted to. I could put my tomatoes and feta, and as you'll see I have peanut butter and stuff like that that I could put in. So it's very versatile. So now we're going to zip this puppy up if we can. Ooh, okay, come on bag. Yeah, get it. Okay. And whenever I put it in the refrigerator to sit overnight, I'll usually unzip it and keep it open just so that it can get cool. I'm always scared it's going to insulate the cold from getting in since it's insulated. And I definitely want everything to be cold. So I have a top compartment, and what I put in the top, oh, this is a little plastic baggie for those tops for Cokes. In fact, I have one that needs to go in. So, you know, as a flight attendant, we get a lot of cans, and I think it's Ronald McDonald House that I read earlier today from a friend who posted, they do the tops. So, like, you know, I'll just take all of the tops and put them in a baggie, and in the hopes of one day donating them to the Ronald McDonald House or, you know, whoever. So I'll keep that in my lunchbox. We'll just roll it. I keep some napkins in there. And then I have 2 things of peanut butter. So it doesn't look like a lot, but this could probably give me 6 or 7, maybe even 8 sandwiches. So peanut butter is a must. Love peanut butter. Honey. I've recently nixed Splenda from my diet, and oh my gosh, honey, so good. If you choose to not do artificial sweeteners, you'll find that your craving for food goes down, way down. Like, I've lost 13 pounds since I nixed the artificial sweetener. And honey goes good on everything. I can put it on a tortilla, I can put it in my coffee, I can put it on a peanut butter sandwich. Now, for breakfast, this is primarily my breakfast section. Well, I have a little Luna bar for a snack, and sometimes I'll pack more protein bars. I also love the Zone Fudge Graham bars, but I ate a bunch of those last week, so I only have 1 left. And let's see, we'll start from here. I've got 2 popcorns. Oh, another top. Another top for the bag, for our special bag. So I have 2 popcorns that I found at a hotel, which is kind of cool, and I've been saving those. I also, like, anytime that I see anything cool, like, I have these little salt packets. Someone gave me this tease stuff, which, honestly, it kind of grosses me out. I don't know what it's made of, but I tried it, and it was okay, so I'm going to try it again later. I have mustard, if I ever want some mustard. So I'll just look for things like coffee creamer, and here I have 2 of these like delicious coffee creamers, 3. So I'll look for things like that, because you never know when you're going to have them. You know, it's like if you want mustard and there's not mustard, you're SOL unless you have a little packet. I have 3 of the instant oatmeals, which I've been trying to get away from because even though they're good and they're instant, they're very high in sugar. But I'm carrying them because I need to use them. So I'm going to put those in. I have a little palm olive. I got it at a hotel. But you could put it in any kind of container. So I keep my little palm olive so I can rinse my bowl out if I need to. Then I roll pack these. I have 2 bags of grape nuts, and I just measured 1/2 cup out, which is a serving of grape nuts. So I'm going to put those in the bag. And milk is easy to come by, so I don't bother looking for milk. And then I also have, how many? 4 of these oatmeals. So I measured out 1/2 cup of oatmeal, and then I put a little box of raisins in with it, and I put a tablespoon of brown sugar. And I roll packed each one so that it won't take up a lot of space, and just make sure that you get all the air out of the bag. So I put all of those in the bag. Alright, so that's enough for 5 breakfasts. And with all of the vegetables and everything, that's probably at least 3 or 4 days of food. And with my peanut butter and my protein, that adds another like 2 days of food. And it gives me enough variety so that I don't feel like I'm eating the same thing. I always try to do a good mix between like savory and sweet, because I'm definitely one of those people who gets like strong savory cravings and strong sweet cravings. So I'm pretty happy with the way that I've been able to manage everything. And honestly, I don't spend more than maybe $60 or $70 on food at the grocery store per month. I mean, not per month, per week. Which may sound like a lot, but whenever you consider how expensive it can be to go eat out somewhere, it's really not a huge difference. Like, I feel like, if anything, it's a lot cheaper, and it's a lot healthy for you, and most of the food that I've packed is fairly natural. So hopefully that is encouraging to you. Anyone can eat healthy if they put forth the effort. And it may be obnoxious to carry a bag, an extra bag around the airport, but I feel good whenever I eat like this. My body is happy with it. I've noticed I feel very sick if I eat out. So hopefully that gives you some good ideas. I intend to make some more videos to give a little bit of variety as far as recipes go, because whenever you do pack your food for like a 5 or 6 day trip, you do eat kind of the same thing over and over, which I'm okay with, but I understand that not everyone is. So there's definitely room for variety, and if you wanted to pack smaller portions, you could have many different types of meals versus the same like 4 or 5 meals. But as you can see, I did have probably 4 or 5 different types of things at least in there. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this. Have a good day. Bye-bye.